Yeah, I just noticed that, Fran.
This one's,
I don't know about the whys, but here we are.
is this one working too? Yeah.
Can you hold that one? Yeah. Well, most of you know I'm Sara Boyles, and I haven't been around as long as Fran has. When I first came to Holy Trinity, Fran was part of a group of wise women. And I remember it very carefully because they were very intimidating. They had tons of wisdom. They did many, many things in the parish. I think of the hospice and Margaret Fraser, and from then on down. And in many ways, I think you were all called, just like in the story of Samuel. Maybe not quite in that way, but that calling that comes to all of us to use our gifts. And today, Fran, I mean, we're celebrating you, but we're also celebrating the creative energy in you, the organizational spirit, the determination to be who you are and to figure out who that is, because I'm sure, like all of us, there's always a struggle to get as close to the core as we can. So behind us, I don't know what you people can see, we have Fran's Lenten frontal, which was done by the community. We thought we'd start with Advent, but this one's right here. Can you tell us a little bit about some of these images, or where you got the idea?
Well, the whole idea was to get people to bring their input into what they felt that Lent was about.
Right.
Oh, I've got my stand, my human stand here. All
Yeah.
right.
And it's right there on the screen too, Fran.
Okay. And so I asked people if they would make some parts of this. Now I did the shell, the grapes, and the wheat,
Mm-hmm.
and the eye.
Over here.
Yes, and other people, somebody did a lamp. They thought the light coming through to us was part of what they found in it. The fish was I'm not sure why, but that was one of the marks of the Christians that were hiding in the burial areas. They put the sign of the fish up.
Yeah.
Here is this person thought of the water that was that came out of the rock when Moses struck it, when the Israelites were walking in the desert.
I thought that was the tree that Zacchaeus hid in, but I'm glad to know it's water.
And this is a weeping eye. That's for Lent.
Yeah.
Bones, of course, death. And this is a weeping willow tree, which was often used as a sign of grief when someone died.
Right.
And the whole thing, I floated it on netting so you can see through it.
Yes.
Now, when the other frontals are on, they hang over the whole thing, and there's a counterweight. So you have two frontals, one that you can see and one that's hidden on the back.
Right.
But this doesn't have a back, doesn't have a counterweight. So it's taped on. Don't tell anybody, but it's taped on. But
we won't tell the altar guild.
I think it's the only netting frontal in the world, probably. So we invented it. And I like it every time it comes out.
Yes.
I hope you like it too.
Can somebody get a chair for Jean? Oh, she didn't want one. Okay. Okay, well, that is a wonderful start. And because we all love this frontal, because it well, it just says so much about us and our community and so on. And there are others though, and Jenny did a really good job getting these two up for us. It was very difficult because we don't have the things to mount them with or the time to figure out how to do it.
they
So
go
now let's
sideways.
start with let's go back to Advent.
Pardon?
Let's go back to Advent.
Which is
The far one,
one,
yes.
which should be seen the other way around, but you understand the first one, which is, whoops. Oh, yeah, the first bit.
Really
on
close, get it really close to her.
The first one is the ordinary person who is uninspired. All the light is outside, but they're dark in the middle. And the next, here comes the greening, something happens. And it was pointed out to me by you that looks like an oak leaf, and it does in the middle. That wasn't planned, but there it is. And then on the right, the
Burgeoning of,
burgeoning of the heat, the light happens in the heart, and it's pushing the gray away. It's the sort of
it's
the way we go through
our life,
our life.
our whole life. Yeah, indeed. I love the stitching in that one. Is that all hand done in that one?
That's machined.
Machined.
Yep.
Wow. How did you manage to get that under a machine?
With difficulty.
Did you hear that? She said with difficulty.
The one on the right, too, you noticed it looked like a face in
Yes.
the middle.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't notice that. It did happen. Anyway, I don't know if this works for you, but it works for me. It reminds me of how things work. What's happening here?
Getting more microphones.
Oh. Thank you. Do I speak to this or do I speak?
I think you speak to this fancy thing.
Okay. All right, over to you. Oh, do we want to talk?
Wait. I have to hear Keith. What did you say, Keith? Okay.
So he wants to use both.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the Christmas?
Why don't we go to the Christmas one? Because it's out in an interesting way.
It's got the ox and the ass and the star.
It's over here too.
The ox and the ass and the star. And see, the birth was supposed to be a non-vaginal birth. Sorry, ladies, but that's what men thought would be a good idea. But here, so the birth is,
So the vertical, when we're looking on the screen, the vertical piece is sort of from her side.
yes, from her side.
Right.
There it is. And that's definitely a male figure.
It
It's a
certainly
baby,
is.
but it's definitely a male baby. And
Ye-
she's looking rather startled. And interesting thing about this face, you can't tell it here, but if you see it from the side, it looks like a black Madonna. The light, the vertical threads show more when you see it from the side.
Right.
And but she does look young and rather startled.
Indeed. And I think the image of the penis or the baby or whatever the
bells.
orange is, again, represents that birth coming from outside her.
Yes.
The birth sort of coming complete in a way. What about her hands? Because that one hand is sort of saying stop.
Saying, "Ooh."
Oh, it's okay. It's saying, ooh, all right.
And the other hand cannot quite grasp the baby because this is not a human baby. This
Right.
This is something special.
Wonderful. Well, that's really interesting to hear all of those things. And of course, she has that look of an angel about her with
And like a bird.
and a bird. Yes, yes. Yes. Well, that's one we're going to enjoy for many, many years.
There's two more frontals. One of them they should be coming with Marty and Dick from
I
the
think this is
country.
one of them.
No, yeah, that's right. She took it home to mend it, and she's been snowed in
Yes.
down in the Niagara district and
Yes.
couldn't come, so you'll have to see it this way. And this is partly the idea that there's a hymn that Easter hymn that starts, "Lo, the green blade rises." The green blade
Rises.
is so the figure of Jesus, it looks like the green blade. It's something growing, something coming. Now the pictures around it are bits of Toronto. Over there is what is it? It's at College Street on University Avenue, and I can't remember what it's about, but it has that shape.
Right, it does.
Hmm?
It does, just up from the bottom. You
Yeah,
can see the Queen's Park Circle.
yes. And over here is that narrow building that's also on Queen, and I don't know, it's
The Flatiron Building.
the Flatiron Building.
That's
I
right.
knew I had you here for a reason. Anyway, and somewhere there's the CN Tower. Where is it? Anyway, top right, I think. It doesn't all show very well here, but it's brighter even when you see it. But it's the idea of Christ coming, and the
City Hall.
City Hall is right around, cupping him as he rises.
Yeah, yeah.
And is there another? What's the other one? The next slide, that's the one we have on the longest
Yes.
part of the year. And this is the idea of, well, the official name is Order and Spirit Unite. But the subversive name is The Doves Are Getting the Squares Moving.
That's the name I know. The doves are getting the squares moving.
The squares being everybody who isn't us. Well, the formal part of the city.
Yes.
And it does work nicely, and I think.
Yes, I think this is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful image of the city. And it also says a great deal about the community of Holy Trinity.
Yeah,
The doves moving things or attempting to move things or pushing things around.
yes.
Have you always been interested in pushing things around and
I guess so. Everybody who makes things. It has produced something different in the world. And also, one of the things I want to celebrate in my work is the community aspect of the church. I was married to a professor, and we had sabbatical years where we went away for a whole year. So we've been in different parts of the world, like Florence, Italy, in Australia and England. And anyway, the thing I noticed when you go to a strange place like Florence, you go to the local church that speaks English because you miss your language, and they take you in right away. And they became friends. They take us on trips. And anyway, the church is a community in the sense that you don't often get community. You make friends with people you would not ordinarily meet. And here I am at the end of my life, and the people who are with me are you guys. You're my friends. You're my family. And that should be celebrated more. The churches seem to be dying now, but something's being lost. People should realize that when you join a church, you come to a stranger, you come as a stranger, and you are taken in not as a stranger, but as a piece of family. And that should be celebrated and continued.
You know, as you've said that, Fran, I haven't looked at you. I've looked at all those faces on the screen. And I've been thinking about all of those people on the screen and how they become part of this family, even though they're not physically here. And in a way, that reminds me of the community of saints.
Oh, yes.
You know, they're visiting us, you know, they're part of us, and yet they're visiting us all at the same time. And the community of saints strikes me that it's always about us as well.
Yes.
And particularly, I think of Ian this week.
My husband, yes.
Yes, yes.
Who wrote hymns. That was his gift to the community.
Now tell me, did you and he ever have any disagreements about church and attending? Did you and he ever
Yeah.
have any disagreements about church?
Not really.
There you go.
If you could put your, when she's talking to.
Okay.
so we have two mics. I'm sorry, they're trying to get the best reception.
Do I have anything more to say?
I don't know. Do you have anything more to say?
I don't think so, except I love you and I'm glad I'm here. And shortly I'll be moving to a retirement home near my son, but I will be up there on the screen with you.
Yes, good. And fortunately, she'll be living near Marty and Dick, so we ought to see her fairly often, and that's another sense of community that you'll have when you get there. So Fran, you love us. We absolutely love you. And at the end of the service, we'll celebrate that with a spider blessing.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, my helper.
Jean, thank you.